Welcome, Erica. Welcome, David. That was
Hi.
David, right? Okay. So far, it's just us three on the call. This is Yusef Abdul Jalil. So what we're going to do is, it's 9 o'clock now. We're going to wait till about, we got more people calling in. All right. Like I was saying, it's 9:01 now, so we're going to just wait for more people to call in. 9, 10, 9, 15, and then from there we'll open it up with a round of introductions, and then hopefully we can go into some of these questions. Recently, Wanda posted a lot of questions that that may make great conversation. But the reason for this is it's very easy to get an idea of somebody online. That can be a misconception. When you talk to them or when you hear someone speak, then you're able to get more of an understanding of how a person really is, because you can't really read inflections over the phone, over the internet. So, this conference was in hopes of that, So I thank you all for calling in, for all three callers that are in right now. Like I said before, I'm going to let it rock, see who else calls in, and at 9:10, then that's when we'll start with the introductions, and then from there going into the questions. But while I have, okay, all right. Welcome, brother. Right now, actually, it's about even with men and women. So actually, there's more brothers on the call than sisters, which I find amazing. Seeing that there was so much. There was so much put out about how brothers aren't in the group, the group needs more brothers, stuff like that. But to hear that the men are calling in, that's like fantastic.
I will be honest, I did not really participate that much because I didn't really see much to get into.
I understand.
Just a few things here and there. I would make a few posts here or there, but not really get really actively involved. But I would definitely make the effort, to
Well,
reach out.
that's cool. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the ground rules like a little later, but it would be nice if before you speak. Yeah, if you before you speak, just give your name so we know who you are. All right. So so for the brother who just ran it down right now, I'm sorry. Who are you again?
Rashid mentioned Bay from Cleveland.
Okay, brother Rashid.
Peace and love to the room. Peace and love,
And
everybody.
got Mahogany Brown on the call. All
Yes,
right.
peace everyone in Atlanta.
All right. Okay. This is Yusef. How you doing, Miss Brown?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Wonderful as usual. So like I was saying, what we're going to do is, it's 9:04 now. People are still calling in. There's 7 callers on the line. So we're just going to wait for another 10 minutes. Then from there, I'll go through the ground rules, and then we can start going through with some of the questions. And again, the call really isn't limited to just random questions with people answering it. But like I said before, it's very easy to misconstrue someone's intentions or even just who they are by what you read on the internet. You can get a better sense of who a person is when you talk to them or when you meet them. So this is just, that what they say, second base. I guess the internet is more like first base, and then it's like talking to someone is more like a second base. So hopefully by having these conversations, not only will we be able to learn something from each other, but we'll be able to get a better understanding of one another. So with that being said, I'm going to step away for a second. It's 9:05. Like I said, there's 7 people on the call. And around 9:10, we'll go through the rules. And then from there, we can start going with the questions. And again, if there's anyone on the line who has any particular questions, if you're on Facebook, especially if you're in the group or if you're in the there or leave conversation, especially in the group, and maybe that'll encourage more people who you may be interested in call in so you can get a sense of who they are outside of what they type. So with that being said, I'm going to step away for a second. Mahogany, if you want to talk to the people, it's all open to you, and I'll be back in about 4 minutes. This is Yusef, so give me a minute. Thanks.
Good evening, everyone. I apologize. I'm a few minutes late, but I'm not sure who I was on. I kind of missed the intros.
I don't think we did intros yet. This is Erica
Okay.
from DC. Yeah.
Okay. And you guys have to forgive me. My little one is still up, so she thinks it's funny that I'm talking to the computer. She's 2.5. Yes, and she wants some milk, so I'm probably gonna have to mute myself because she keeps saying she wants some milk. So yeah, she wants some milk.
Okay.
Oh yes, she wants some mommy's milk. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I think I only did a year.
Oh, hey, that's an accomplishment to make it a year. So
Yes.
definitely.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
This is James Young.
Hi, Jason.
Hello.
Hi, this
So
is Daphne from West Palm Beach, Florida.
Oh, nice to meet you. I'm James. I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
Hey, James.
Nice to meet you, Daphne.
Yep.
Who else is on the line? Who else is on here?
Leslie. I'm from Detroit also, but I live in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
And you have Erica from DC.
Say that again?
Erica from Washington, D.C.
Oh, nice to meet you. Yeah, I was in Washington, D.C. This past March, actually.
Oh, okay. When you come next month, you should look me up.
I was attending the American College of Cardiology scientific session. And you said smart. No, it was the Association of Black Cardiologists that flew me out there, and I'm actually a national spokesperson with American Heart Association, and so they brought me out there to. Actually, when I was out there, I had 3 different speaking engagements. You know, I spoke actually at the conference, the scientific session. I sat on a panel dealing with disparities with healthcare in the African American community and access to healthcare in the African American community.
Okay.
And then I also spoke at an Association of Black Cardiologists workshop because they're the ones that flew me out there. I was their featured speaker at a workshop dealing with community advocacy on heart health. And the American Heart Association found out that I was there, so they wanted me to come speak to their corporate heads at a luncheon. So I actually had 3 different speaking events during my stay. But even with that, I still had time to go over and visit the Smithsonian Museum, which was actually, African American history. And that was one of the best highlights of my visit was seeing, being able to go to that museum. But what was really cool about it too is that the Association of Black Cardiologists actually had a formal sit-down dinner in the museum. So not only did I have a chance to peruse the museum, but when we actually had the dinner there, they gave us access to the museum. So we had the museum to ourselves for the rest of the night. So we didn't have to deal with, crowds or anything like that. So that was extra special,
Yeah. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Thanks for sharing that. That's really awesome. And you said, hold on, I'm going to look up your page. You say you're James Young? Is that
James.
right?
Yeah, James Young. Yeah.
Okay. My name is Erica Gleason.
Oh, okay. What's going on?
All right, James Young, getting it started. Okay, I didn't know you were a cardiologist. That's an interesting. Oh, by the way, I'm Yusef, and I'm assisting with with hosting the call. But
Okay.
you were running down, so I had to listen to what you had to say. But
I'm not a cardiologist. I'm not a cardiologist.
Oh,
yeah.
No, go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying I said I'm a spokesperson with the American Heart Association, but I became a spokesperson with AHA because I'm a congestive heart failure survivor. And
wow.
so, which goes into why I'm part of a group such as the one we're all a part of, because I had to make some adaptations to my diet, and eliminate quite a few things, in an effort so that I could still be here.
Wow, that's interesting because beginning of the year, actually it was on New Year's Eve, I thought that I was having pneumonia. And so I went in and come to find out that one of my arteries was clogged. I had to get a stent. So, so that was the reason for me. Prior to that, I was transitioning. But that was the reason for me kind of like go cold turkey on a lot of things. Because it's like all of a sudden I'm taking like all of these medications, Apidogel and Lodipine or Deverol, like all this stuff. But I could have changed my diet, or if I would have changed my diet earlier, maybe I wouldn't even be in the condition I was in. So I definitely understand that. All right. Right now we have 9 callers. 9 callers on. So we're going to get this started. But before we get it started, I just want to run a couple of ground rules so we'll be able to enjoy the experience a little better. Number one, is if you have something to say, please say your name first. I know that, especially if there's a particular topic and you want to get it out there, but for us to know who we're talking to, it's very important for you to say your name. So if you could, just say your name first. So I'm Yusef, and there you go, say my name. Another one is if you have any particular comments, try to keep them brief. I know that sometimes we have thoughts that are still formulating in our heads while we're trying to articulate them. But just for the sake of the call, because right now it's only 7 of us, but who knows? It might be up to 18. It's best to kind of like, say what you got to say and then keep it moving. The other thing is, if you have any background noise, just put your phone on mute if you're not speaking. I know some people, I don't know, you might have moving trains, children, or something like that. But just to be respectful of those people who are listening or speaking, just put your phone on mute. The last thing is, if you happen to be online during the call and you're in the group, just promote call in the group. We're talking about X, Y, and Z, stuff like that. So by promoting the conversation of the phone into the group, then maybe that'll bring more people into the call. So with that being said, welcome. My name is Yusef Abdul Jalil. I've been in the group for about, I want to say 2 weeks, so I'm a newbie into the group. But I was talking with Mahogany Brown. Mahogany, you still on the phone? Ms. Brown.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm still here. I have myself muted because the little one is. Yeah. Sorry, I'm going to put myself back on mute.
But basically the way this call came about was, I'm new to the group, so I really don't know the dynamics of the group. So I kind of put the word out there. I just put it out there. There needs to be a conference call. And, like-minded individuals, Mahogany Brown was thinking the same thing. So I think I put the word out like last week, but then Friday rolled around. So we decided to do it this Friday. And with doing that, I'm glad you guys called in. There are 11 callers on the line. So with that being said, again, I'm Yusef. And if we could everyone just introduce themselves? And just like our brother James Young did, just introduce yourself, your name, and where you're from. So for me, Yusef, and I live in Yonkers, New York.
Rashid Mitchell Bay, and I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Yolanda English. I live in Miami. I'm from New York.
Hi, this is Daphne. I am originally from Chicago. I live in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Hello, this is Brian.
Oh. I'm sorry, this is Mahogany. I don't remember how long I've been in the group. I guess maybe about a month or two now. And I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hello, this is Brian. I'm in the DC area.
This is Quanta. I created the group in January of 2015, and I'm the administrator.
Hi, this is Erica Gleason. I'm from Washington, D.C. And yes.
Hi, my name is Leah. I am in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, I think that's everybody. And I just want to give a shout out to Quanta. Thank you for creating this group. I know that it's a labor of love. I hope I haven't done too much to get on your nerves. But, I think it's a dynamic group in regards to just the conversation and the sharing of the recipes. I've still got to put together that macaroni and cheese recipe that you posted up the other day. But, with that being said, Quanta, I'm going to go ahead and actually stick to the script that you put out in regards to the questions, because you are right. I mean, with this being like an introductory conversation for us, I think we should keep it simple. So, I mean, if you don't mind, ma'am, do you mind throwing out the first question for conversation?
I don't mind. I have to find the question. Okay, let's see. I think we did the who you are, where you live. I live in Atlanta. I've been plant-based for about 35 years. I started this journey when I was a teenager because all of my friends were vegetarian. And as I got older, it really has helped my health. I really don't have any big challenges to maintaining a plant-based diet. Since I've been doing it so long, I have sort of figured out no matter what environment I'm in, I can eat. I don't have issues with non-vegan friends and family. They just accept that I'm going to do me. Surprises for me is, where do you get your protein? It always surprises me when I hear that. Like, really? Think about it. I learned a lot from people in this group. I'm glad I started this group. I started this group because I belonged to another group, and people were saying, we need a support group for single people. And that's why I started the group. And I learn from you all every single day, and I learn about myself and about you all, and I appreciate you all. I appreciate Mahogany because she picked up the ball at a time when I was ready to shut the group down. And I appreciate James Young, if he's still on the line, and everybody, and you too, Yusuf, even though you and we're going to duke it out until we become the best of friends. And thank you for this effort. Thank you for all you do. I really appreciate you all, and I'm very grateful to you all. Okay.
Wow. I mean, 35 years. I got that right? You said 35 years?
Well, that's all I'm going to claim. I'm not going to say longer. But yeah.
I understand. Okay. Wow, you like the OG on the call. Does anyone have over 35 years being planted?
I just got corrected by a person in a group that I run that she didn't like being called OG. So.
Oh, really? I'm sorry. I'm originally from Los Angeles, so the Compton gonna come out every now and then. You got excuse for that. Does anyone else have any of their stories in regards to why they transitioned to a plant-based diet?
This is Mahogany. I'll try to be very brief because my little one's a little fidgety. But mine was motivated by my failing health, and about 8 years ago, and then my cousin, we were born 2 days apart, but she passed from breast cancer. And so, typically, I guess people are sad leaving a going away celebration, but I felt very motivated, and I had all the reasons in the world to, considering my health issues. And I started looking up natural cures for diseases, and the thing that made the most sense was diet. So I did my first detox, and after my first detox, I felt so good. I was like, I don't ever want to go back to feeling the way I felt, and feeling like I didn't want to put what I was putting in my body before. I felt so good that I didn't want to go back to feeling that way. So, so I just started my transition to veganism, and so that's what motivated the change for me.
Fantastic. Anybody else care to share their story?
This is Leah. I went vegan because I actually, I was actually on a, weight loss journey, like a total weight loss and emotional transformation, journey. And my dad actually suggested that I read a book called Eat to Live by Dr. Joe Furman. And so I was working out regularly at the time, or had started working out regularly, and I I bought the book, the paperback book, also bought it on audio, to, when I worked out, I would be listening to it, and then I'll go to the paperback book to kind of access the recipes and stuff. So I just basically took meat out of breakfast, then I took it out of lunch, and then I took it out of my dinner, and just the things that he was saying from a scientific and from a research perspective, it just made sense to me. And I tried it, and I've been vegan for 5 years.
Fantastic. Anyone else care to share their story?
This is Rashid from Cleveland. Rashid Mitchell Bay from Cleveland. My change to veganism actually started as a conversation, and I've been vegan for about 20 years now. Back in college, I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and he, we would argue back and forth and stuff about, eating meat or whatnot, and he knocked me over the head with this one simple thing. He asked me, he said, "You made of the same elements that the earth is made out of, right?" I said, "Yeah." And then he said, "Well, you get a bowl of chicken wings. When you get done with them, what you got?" I said, "Chicken bones." "When you got you a bowl of grapes, when you get done with them, what you got left? Seeds and stems." He said, "You put them both in the earth. Which one gives life?"
Oh, wow. I see.
Fruit's so perfect. It's so perfectly made that the more of it that you eat, the more of it is for everybody to eat. That's provided you in a natural environment that you're supposed to be in. So I just stopped believing anything had to die in order for me to live. And my whole goal was to change my mom over so I can get me a home-cooked meal here and there, and that turned into a business. Mobile Products in Cleveland, vegan food delivery.
Wow. Well, you need to post your business in Kwanda's post about what is it? It's not just side hustles, but it's about businesses, right? Like
it's both.
Kwanda? Okay.
Yes, it's both. Shout out your business, your side hustle, what you're doing, promote yourself. That was what it was for.
Yeah, you need to push that up to the top so he can put his information up in that post.
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely do that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. Anyone else have a story?
Hi, this is Erica Gleason, and I've been vegetarian vegan since January 18th, 2007, and my journey was started because I did a Marine Corps Marathon in 2006. And I was a little heavy set going into it, and because I was in the Big Brother Big Sister program, and they said, "Hey, you don't run that, you can't do it. So if someone gives me a challenge, I'm gonna do it, right?" So I came up with a dream team of doctors, all the different doctors, cardiologists, every single specialist I had. And after the marathon, when I went to my cardiologist wrapping up, my cardiologist said, "You know what? Your cholesterol is 245, and you're like 28, and you're at childbearing years, or 26, something like that." And he was like, "You're at childbearing years, and I don't want to put you on any medication." And he literally came over to me and whispered in my ear that the only thing that has cholesterol in it is animal products. And I was like, "I don't eat beef like that, but I eat chicken and I'll eat shrimp." So he whispered that into my ear, and I was left his office like, "Yeah, whatever, right? I don't know about that." Right? But then I accidentally stumbled into a vegan restaurant because I was at Howard University for my graduate degree, and I stumbled into a vegan restaurant on Georgia Avenue, and they said, "Hey, this is vegan food." So I tried it, and I was like, okay, but I still went on, right? And about a month passed because it was January 17th, and I was sitting on my couch eating chicken wings and mumbo sauce, and it was delicious. It was good, right? And then I started feeling like I had heart palpitations. So I said right then, after I finish this meal, of course, tomorrow I'm just going to do 90 days without meat, dairy, everything. And every single month after that, when I started to do this journey, my cholesterol was dropping like 15 points a month. So by like May, June, my cholesterol was down to 180 normally, right? But in addition to that, I had a lot of allergies pre-January 18, 2007. And that so much like I had like an IgE test and a RAS test, and my allergy level was like 500. And usually I'm supposed to be under 100. So I had an ear, nose, and throat doctor. And one of the things, too, like during this process, I went back to him, and he retested me, and it was like 500 starting. Then it flashed down to 250. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I just gave up meat and dairy." And then I was on to something. So, like, So those some of the problems that I had started reversing themselves just by going plant-based. In addition to lasting for women, because some women, they have like menstrual like pains when there's time for their cycle. Like those cramps went away as well because that's caused because people eat the dairy in our diet caused that. So since then, I haven't had that problem either. So right now, I'm back working on not being a startitarian, like my naturopathic doctor has told me, and I'm working on my weight down. And so yeah, so all right, that's where I'm at. That's
Wow. Inspiring. Anyone else want to share the story? We have 10 callers on the line.
Hey guys, this is Yolanda. I started my journey. I started in 1983 giving up beef after reading De Gregory's Cooking with Mother Nature, and I pretty much ate fish and chicken for many years. Raised my kids on fish and chicken, thinking I was doing well, and then found out about the toxins in shellfish. Stopped eating that in I think 2000. And then I did a 4-week detox in 2006. And after the 4 weeks, I just felt so good, I just couldn't tolerate chicken anymore. So I just had fish that I was eating. And then I was a consultant. I did a research plan, a business plan for a fish farm. And after researching fish, I decided not to put that in me anymore. And then the last thing I had to give up was cheese. And I'm from New York, so New York pizza was the hardest thing for me to give up. But after listening to this plant-based nutritionist talk about the concentration of animal protein in cheese and, how it grows cancer cells and, causes all other kind of issues, I decided to give that up as well. So I've been fully plant-based for 5 years.
Fantastic. Anyone else care to share their story?
Is James Young on the line?
I'm here.
James Young is on the line.
James,
I'm
you
here.
must tell your story. You must.
He did, but you can run it back, James. You can run it back.
Well, yeah. I kind of gave a brief snippet earlier, but I'll be brief too, because the host said be brief, so I'll be brief because sometimes I could be long-winded. But basically, it's been 6 years now. I just did a Facebook post about it. But 6 years ago, around this time actually, I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. During that time and prior to, I was a heavy smoker, heavy drinker. I used to hang out at the bar, with my buddies almost every evening or every night as we possibly could. And eventually all of that, as well as including a very bad diet of eating Coney Island and Popeyes every other day and no water, but drinking plenty of soda and all that, no exercise, so just sitting at the bar. Sitting at work, then I sit at the bar. Well, eventually that caught up to me, where eventually I found out once I was admitted to emergency that I had an ejection fraction of 25% functioning heart. It was actually a little higher than that when I was going to my primary physician. It was like in the 30 percentile. But by the time I actually got to emergency and decided to admit myself, I was down to 25%. And when the cardiologist, once they got done testing me and doing echoes and all that, he said, had I waited one more week, we would be having a different conversation. He said, and guess what? You wouldn't be a part of it. And so my whole thing as far as the diet shifting and all of that, why was I doing? I always look at it this way. I had to identify first what was eating me before I could identify or change what I was eating. Right? So while I was in the hospital, I had plenty of time to reflect on that because I was bedbound. I was a fall risk, so I was confined to my bed. I couldn't get up unless I necessarily had to. So I had plenty of time to reflect on those things that were causing me to drink excessively, smoke excessively, eat excessively, all of those things. Because in addition to congestive heart failure, I was also diagnosed with what's called alcoholic cardiomyopathy, which is obviously without going further explanation, I think you can probably put two and two together and figure out that results into somebody who's abusing alcohol. So I had two diagnoses, both congestive heart failure and alcoholic cardiomyopathy. So with it all being said and done, my primary physician said, I'm lucky to be here. She didn't think I was actually going to make it, but she didn't say that until after I started improving. But she admitted when my numbers started reflecting something of, in better, in better numbers, she said, I actually didn't think you were going to make it. She said, but I'm glad you really did what you needed to do to still be here. So with that being said, I stopped drinking, I stopped smoking, Newports and all that stuff. Changed my diet, added more plant-based foods in my diet, stopped drinking sodas and sugary drinks, started exercising. So then, basically I became a runner. And long story short, now I'm heart medication free, which is, I'm a miracle to a lot of, and very interesting to a lot of cardiologists, because they're like, you cannot be coming from your situation and not be on medication. I was like, well, I'm not. I'm not. So, and I'm still here, and I'm physically active. I feel the best that I've ever felt. I'm looking the best that I've ever looked, in my life. And so as a result of that, linked up with American Heart Association, and now I'm one of their national spokespersons. And so I do a lot of local advocacy, as well as some national initiatives with AHA as well. And I'm actually their first African American male ambassador that they've ever had. Their first one. So I'm proud of that too, because it gives me the opportunity to touch our people using the vehicle of AHA and letting our people know, because our people get hit disproportionately with heart disease. 44% of black men, 48% of black women have some form of heart disease, and those are just those who have been diagnosed, not the ones that's walking around, who are unaware that they have it. So I'm transparent with my story on purpose, because I want our people to know that it doesn't mean death, and you can change. And look at me. And one last thing I would say, but most black people I talk to, when I tell them my story, they say, well, my grandmama had congestive heart failure. She died. Or my daddy had it, or my mama had it, and they died. I never knew anybody who actually lived, and especially to the point of not being on medication. So my story is actually unbelievable to a lot of black folks I talk to. They just figure it's hard for them to believe it, because so many people in their immediate life have gone the other way, and that's all they know. So I'm transparent, because I want our people to know that, look at me. I'm, as an example, that you can do it too. If I can do it, you can do it too. So this is my second wind in life. This is my life at this point. Those, some people in this conversation knows, this is my life now, and this is what I'm about, is heart advocacy in our community. So, but that's all.
Well, James, I'm glad you're still with us.
Yeah.
I'm just going to share my story right quick, because it's kind of similar to yours. Well, not as bad, but sort of. On New Year's Eve, I was in Los Angeles, thinking I'm going to hang out with my friends for New Year's Eve and all this type of stuff. And I've never been a big drinker. I stopped eating pork and beef 27 years ago. I did smoke, but, I would smoke. I'm thinking, I'm only smoking a Black and Mild, something like that. So I really never took it into consideration. And one day I woke up, and I thought that I was, a little prior to that, I was having like pains in my chest. So I assumed that it was indigestion. You know, I never had indigestion, so I didn't know what it felt like. So I figured it was that. But the pain had gotten so bad one day, I was like, I need to check this out. But I was on a flight. I was in Houston at the time, and then I was on a flight to LA, so I went to Los Angeles. So New Year's Eve, I wake up and I'm like, I got like this fever thing going on. I'm thinking I'm taking these Tums. Tums ain't helping. So I ended up checking myself into urgent care place, and they hooked me up to the EKG machine. And she was like, "Where do you want to go?" I'm like, "Where do I want to go? What are you talking about?" She's like, "You're having a heart attack right now." So I'm like, oh, I don't know, you know. So they put me in an ambulance, rushed me off to the hospital. There were 2 cardiologists there. You know, he asked me some questions about, you know, my diet, smoking, things like that. And come to find out that I needed a stent. And I had 99.8% closure in one of my arteries. So they operated on me, put a stent in me. They went through my groin area, put a stent in me. I was in the hospital for a couple of days, and, you know, this is your story, but the thing was that my heart, I guess because of my age or something, but my heart actually started to redirect the blood flow. So instead of blood pumping from the front to the back, now it pumps from the back to the front or some stuff, I don't know. But but the thing was they put me on all this medication. So it's like right now I take like 6 different medications, you know, and one of them is for cholesterol because, you know, family history, cholesterol is just high in my family. It's like I have an uncle who is primarily plant-based. He still has
I'm sorry to interrupt you. This is Rashid from Cleveland. Have you tried red rice meat for cholesterol?
Pardon me, sir? Have I tried what?
Red rice yeast for your cholesterol.
Red rice leaf. I'm writing that down now. Are you in the group?
Yeah.
You know, on Facebook right now?
Huh?
Rashid, are you on Facebook right now?
Right now, I can be.
Okay, if you can.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook right now.
Look up what you just said and post something about it in the group for me, okay? So it'll be easier for me to find. But thank you for that information. So right now, like I was saying, like, so I'm on this medication, and I go see, I see my cardiologist, I want to say once a month, but I have to do my blood work in October. So, I mean, I've been pretty much plant-based since the beginning of the year, gave up smoking, all that stuff. So I'm waiting till October to see what my my blood work comes back as. But I can say since I've made more of a concentrated effort to remain plant-based, I've definitely felt better, but I just don't want to take the chance of not taking the medication until I get the okay, you know. But I'm definitely going to look into what you were talking about, Brother Rashid, because I am looking for, you know, any type of solution because I'm reading on this medication, like, for instance, I got to take something, Sandostatin. They say that Sandostatin lowers the cholesterol in your brain, so then you start forgetting things, you know. Or I'm taking nitrates. So nitrates, you know, that like leads to erectile dysfunction. So it's like all of these medications, you know, that I know that I can circumvent just with my diet alone. So I mean, so that's kind of like my story, you know, my cautionary tale, you know, in regards to the reason why I've chosen, you know, to make the transition, you know, because I'm not you know, having like any serious problems with cravings for meat or things like that. But, you know, I've been caught out there once before, you know, once or twice before. So, you know, so I like to say that I'm transitioning. I don't want to come off like I'm a perpetrator, like I've been vegan for 25 years or something like that. So, so for me, I'm probably one of the newest members in the group, in regards to my journey. So that's my piece right there. Is there anybody else on the call who would like to share this?
Yeah,
I'd like, if it's like, I'd like to address a couple of things.
Name first.
Huh?
Please. Give us your name first before you share your story, please.
This is one, and I'd like to address a couple of things that were said.
Can you give a story first before we move into that segment?
This is Kwanda.
Oh, Kwanda. Okay, Kwanda. Okay, well, hey, I got to give you the floor. Go ahead, Miss Lady.
Two things I want to address that were said, particularly about cholesterol. At one point, I had cholesterol issues, and not because from meat or animal products, but from baked goods, from bread and pastry and stuff like that, causes high cholesterol. And grains actually will cause, refined grains, let me be particular, refined grains will cause high cholesterol. And it's one of the things a lot of doctors won't tell you. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that red yeast rice, if you have high cholesterol and you're on medication, red yeast rice is a statin. It's a natural statin, but it is still a statin, and it responds that way in the body. Some of the other things that you can use to affect cholesterol levels that are more that don't act as a statin in the body include fenugreek seeds, artichoke leaf extract, yarrow root, and holy basil are all can all help to lower cholesterol and triglycerides.
Okay, nice. Now, I need you to do me a favor. This is Yusuf. I need you to do me a favor. You said a lot, so please put that in the group so I'll be able to find it, because I did not type all that up. Thank you, kindly.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing that information. Is there anybody else on the line who didn't get a chance to share their story?
Well, hi, I'm Brian from D.C. I basically became a vegetarian in the 1990s when I was studying at Howard University. And within the last 6 years, someone introduced me to a gentleman by the name of Dr. Sebi. I'm sure you all know about him. That's on the call. And basically, I became a vegan at such point, and I've been a vegan ever since. And been, alkaline vegan for probably the last 6 years, and became, tried to start cooking some dishes, alkaline dishes myself within the last 3, and set out this year to try to expand networks in the with vegan groups, and happy to have you all have me on the call. And for your response, brother, I would certainly suggest some alkaline herbs, but I don't want to go on that tangent tonight, but definitely if you want to inbox me, we can certainly talk. I've been studying Dr. Sebi for the last 6 to 10 years, and I think I have a very good basis on his herbal cleansing packages and herbal cleansing remedies that he has implemented, that he has gotten rid of all diseases that there has ever been existing. So, definitely if you want to chat offline, we can certainly do that as well. But thanks to having me on the call. I'm looking to network and meet new people, and happy to be on the call.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you. Is there anybody else on the call who didn't get a chance to share their story? Right now we have 11 callers. I don't know if everyone's spoken now. Okay, I'll take that as a yes. All right, Ms. Kwanda, do you have another topic for us?
Yes. Well, if you ask me what is some of the stuff I wrote, I'm not online right now. But
I have them up. I have them up. If you want me to run one by you.
One of the things and one of the reasons why I started the group is because of conversations that I heard around being vegan, being the only vegan among friends and family. And that's something I think is really worth talking about.
Can I piggyback something that I noticed that who shared a story went vegan for health reasons. So I was wondering if there's anybody that's like vegan, I guess, for compassion reasons.
For ethical reasons. Oh, that's a very good question. I posed that actually in the group. So I'm just going to reiterate what you just said. Is there anyone in the group who is vegan? Well, I guess the truest sense of the word, vegan for compassion and ethical reasons, like a PETA compassionate type. Don't wear leather, don't wear gators, you know. Anyone?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi.
Just say your name.
Hi, this is Kasinda. So, yeah, to answer your question, I am actually vegan for compassion reasons. I don't wear any leather. I don't use any animal products.
Placenta, this is Yusuf. Could you tell us the reason why you decided to become an ethical vegan?
Well, when I first became vegan, it was more for health reasons and learning about veganism and learning how, my veganism has a on the planet and seeing how animals are treated and become food. It broke my heart, and I could no longer feel comfortable even wearing leather or any animal because I totally threw away everything leather, anything that had animal products, and started to do a lot of research on other things that we animal products I didn't know about because I got involved with some meetups who were much more conscious than I was at the time. So they helped me to learn about different products in different industries that are made with animal products, what I could use to maintain the lifestyle I've chosen. So, yeah.
Wow. I mean, for me, because I live in New York too, and I see like the PETA ads. This is Yusuf again. I'm sorry. I know I got to throw my name out a couple times. But I've seen the PETA ads, and I've seen, I've seen some of the protests. But for me, I guess that I'm just more, I'll just have to just say I'm just plant-based with my diet because I will wear my leather shoes. And I'm not to the point to where if I need to kill it, I'll kill it. I'm not. I just think the compassion, the reasons of compassion and stuff, but I don't think that I'm quite there. But I do applaud those people who are there. Now my question is this: are you radicalized with it? You're not the type that'll throw like paint on somebody's fur or something like that, are you?
Oh, no. I'm not a radical vegan at all. I respect everyone's choice.
Okay.
Want and eat what they want and wear what they want. I have family members, of course, that are not vegan, and my daughter. I have a 24-year-old. She's not vegan 100%. And like I said, I respect every people's body choice to be who they are.
Yeah, that's cool. I've just felt like, I had to ask, but I've never seen anyone black do that. So, I just had to ask. Is there anyone else on the phone who's ethical vegan or vegan to the truest sense of the word in regards to no cruelty to animals or compassion to animals?
Hi, this is Erica. Erica Gleason, and I come to the sense that I had a baby in 2009, and I was 100% vegan then, and at that time, I had a craving for this chicken wings and mumbo sauce again, right? But now, in retrospect, my son carried his father's blood type, and he was on blood, and he wasn't vegan. So hence why I was craving this chicken wings and mumbo sauce. Anyway, at that time, when I put chicken back in my body after 3 years, I started to have, I had to go to the hospital because my body now built a resistance to that, and I had to go on steroids and blah, blah, blah. But with that said, is that once I ate the chicken again for that time, it felt like he was chewing on something's flesh. And at that point, it kind of clicked something different in me, because when I think about eating meat, it's thinking about eating on someone's flesh or an animal's flesh, and that doesn't seem right. And since now I went through like the different PETA campaigns and things like that, like I'm in a sorority, I'm in Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, and a lot of my sorors, they have furs and things like that. However, I purposely don't have a fur because what it does to our environment, and then now someone else has to die. So for me personally, additionally, I don't put anything on my skin that I can't eat, right? So I make my own oils and lotions and things and body butters and things, and I try not to buy things from anywhere else. I'll make my own things. And yeah, so at this point, myself and my son, we're both vegan, and we don't put anything on us. Like, Uggs are cute, but I won't wear Uggs because of the origin of Uggs, right? And you won't see me wearing a fur and things like that. So, yeah.
Oh,
but my
hold
son
on.
is hardcore now.
You got to put me up on something. The origin of Uggs. I just thought they were from Australia. What's the origin of Uggs?
No, like those are like animal, like the materials for the Uggs, like the inside stuff that comes off of.
Oh, you talk about like the shirling. It's like a shirling, right? Like the sheepskin insides or something like that.
Right. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah. So I don't wear Uggs. They're cute though.
Oh, you just admire them from a distance?
I do, yes. So my nieces have it, but I won't put my money towards those kind of thing. So yeah. But my son, he's the hardcore serious kid. So yeah.
This is Leah. I'm not like 100% like hardcore ethical, but I do like if it's more I guess cost effective to buy a vegan product versus animal product, I will. And I also created a Pinterest board with vegan clothes, and because I was looking for a vegan version of Uggs, so I can post that a link to that.
Oh, nice, nice.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other ethical vegans on the phone? All right. Let's segue to another question. Kwanda, I'm using your line of questioning, okay? We've pretty much gone through who you are, where you live, how long you've been vegan. Now, I don't think everyone shared their story, but pretty much did when they gave their introduction. All right. Biggest challenges to being vegan. Anyone who cares to share, just say your name first and just try to keep it brief for the next person.
This is Yolanda. I guess my only challenge is being that pain in the behind friend, because I'm usually the only vegan in the group. So when it's time to go out to eat, of course I have to call the restaurant ahead of time to make sure there's something I can eat. And, you know, it's just socializing can be challenging sometimes. But I make it work. And, of course, traveling, too, because I travel a lot for my job. And by the way, Yusuf, I sell stints. You know, my work for the company is sell stints, so we may have our product in there.
Oh, really? Well, I mean, I'm hoping that they said something about cells growing over it and all this type of stuff. I mean,
right,
get my blood work, I'll find out. But, wow, that's interesting.
Yes.
So you've probably seen a couple stories or heard a couple stories in your travels.
Yeah, just trying to keep people alive. My job is to help women and people of color get access to advanced cardiovascular care.
Okay.
That's actually what I do. Hmm.
Well, I will say this. I'm glad that I had my procedure in California.
Awesome.
So, I mean, all right. Anyone else? The question is biggest challenges to being vegan. I'm sorry.
This is Erica. I don't have a challenge, but to the previous speaker, where she was talking about her friends and things like that, I like being the vegan, and I'm pretty much the only vegan vegetarian in the group, and it's like a conversation piece. So people are like, oh, so what do you do? What do you eat? And it's like, Erica, you just do every spotlight on me, and people are always so concerned about eat. And even when I was dating, the last person I was dating, he was not a vegan, but he took it upon himself to make sure I'll have be taken care of and things like that. So I think it's so special because I am special, right? So anyway,
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it.
That's cute.
You over there giggling.
I'm giggling. Yolanda, I thought that was cute.
Okay. Anyone else have a story?
Yes, this is
challenges to being vegan.
Yeah, this is Mahogany. I think my biggest challenges aren't necessarily related to myself, but just I would just say from a parenting perspective. You know, I took my daughter. She was she's going to be homeschooled, but we were taking her to a place to take some classes like 4 days a week. And, you know, I tried as much as I can to keep her in my line of sight. But sometimes somebody slipped my baby who's never had any animal products or byproducts, a hot dog. I lost my mind.
I'm sorry.
But I would say the biggest challenge was just related to her, was taking her around people and trusting, you know, that no one, because they think they know what's best for her, that they're going to try to put her something here. Let mom talk, okay? But no one's going to try to slip her some food, you know, and really, so I guess maybe socializing, finding social groups that with other vegan parents can sometimes be a challenge.
Hi, this is Erica. I'm so sorry. I have to say, I'm going to put this in a group, but there's something called a vegan, like, bracelet. And for my son, because he's vegan, he had a bracelet. I had to keep a bracelet on his arm that says vegan, so no one gives him anything that it's like a medical alert bracelet, and it's a cute little silicone thing that you put on their arm. I'm looking for it right now. And then no one will give your child anything at all. So anyway, I'm looking for it right now to send it to you or to put it in the group for you. But put this on your baby ASAP. Hold on,
thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Erica. If you could, please put that in the group so we all have access to things like that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
See, that's the beauty of this group. It's like when you're able to actually talk, then you're able to share information a little better. You know what I mean? Because it's like when you're in a post, there might be something you need to read, but you're reading something else. So, you know, I'm glad that we're able to have this forum so we can at least exchange this information. And I got that information on the red yeast rice, brother. Thank you for posting that. All right, let's see. This kind of segues into something we were talking about earlier, dealing with non-vegan friends and family. Does anyone, I like to start with the horror story. Does anyone have any horror stories that they want to share in regards to dealing with non-vegan friends and family?
This is Yolanda. I was told by a gentleman that me being vegan will expose my spirit to expose me to demonic spirits because I'm depriving my body of meat. Needless to say, he's no longer a friend. I had to cut him off. That was just ridiculous. Can you believe it?
Well, I
Like,
thought
really?
you were about to say Linus, he's no longer alive or something because he's been eating meat.
Oh, no. No, I was just like, you're just too stupid to even argue with. Really? Demonic spirits? Because I'm depriving my body of meat? Stop it. Yeah, that's about it. That's probably the silliest thing that's happened.
This is Leah. The only funny thing that happened was, I think it was probably, I was maybe like 2 or 3 years into being vegan. I met this guy, and he took me out on a date for my birthday to Ruth's Chris. And I'm like, because he wanted to steak. And I was just like, okay. So I had to order like a salad with no, like you take a vegan on their birthday to a steakhouse. That was kind of weird. But the worst thing I probably get is that I don't really announce it. Like I'm a go with the flow kind of person. And I always like am good at figuring out like ways to, a lot of times my friends and family even forget that I'm vegan because I don't make it a big deal. So I find ways to kind of adjust myself because my thing is about hanging with my friends and family and being around them. So it really doesn't matter to me. But yeah, I mean, it's just like the weirdest thing is like when people do find out I'm vegan, they'll just like, well, I can't do that, and it's just like they kind of make it about themselves, and so something in me probably, I guess, makes them look at themselves and kind of catch an attitude that way. But other than that, it really hasn't been that bad.
That's good. That's good. Does anyone have any other stories that are to the contrary of hers?
Well, this is Daphne.
Okay, Daphne.
In West Palm Beach. I just want to say, I was just listening to the young lady that just spoke, and I have actually had some of the best vegan meals at steakhouses because places like Ruth's Chris, they have 5-star chefs. And when I tell them that I'm vegan, then I have gotten the most amazing dishes. As a matter of fact, when they bring my food to the table, everybody else is looking at my food like, wow, you should have got that. So I was really kind of surprised to hear her say that because, I've been to some really great steakhouses with, friends that were not vegan, and I've had some of the most amazing vegan dishes at those places.
Okay, my question for you, Daphne. I'm sorry, but Daphne, how did you know that you could just talk to the chef and tell him I'm vegan, hook me up? Like, how does that work if it's not on the menu?
Because I was at a 5-star restaurant, and I know that these are not short order cooks. They are chefs, and whenever I go someplace, I always let the wait staff know that, I'm vegan. Do you have anything? Because, some places even have a separate menu for vegans and vegetarians, but they won't present it to you unless you say something. So I've just learned to speak up.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm the one who just told the steakhouse story. That was like 2 or 3 years into being veganism. So I didn't know that I couldn't. But yeah, I've learned since to just like, hey, do you have a vegan menu? Or, can I talk to the chef or something like that? So yeah, I definitely learned.
Okay. Well, y'all putting me up on something. This is Yusef. Y'all putting me up on something because I never knew that. I thought that I would just be doomed eating blooming onions at Outback Steakhouse for the rest of my life or something. I'll have to, even though that's not a 5-star restaurant, but I'll be sure to ask from now on in regards to that.
There's some places you can't get anything. Like Red Lobster just doesn't have anything for us.
In most restaurants, you can ask for a vegan meal, and they will prepare one especially for you. And it doesn't even have to be a 5-star restaurant. It can be almost any place. Today, I had breakfast with a friend at the Waffle King, and the waitress, she brought me hash browns with tomatoes, onions, peppers, mushrooms. It was beautiful with this salad that I should have taken a picture of. It was so gorgeous. And I had never been there before. I mean, it's like one of those like little, I don't even know how to describe Waffle King, but it's one of those little roadside places.
It's like a fake Waffle House? Bootleg Waffle House? Or
it's on the scale of Waffle House, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the food that she brought me was absolutely amazing. I've never been able to go any place and not get a vegan meal when I specifically ask for it as an option.
Yeah, this is you said. Yeah. When it comes to breakfast, I end up doing stuff like that. I find myself, home fries, just like the starchitarian thing, So I have to make sure to ask in particular. I didn't mean to cut off who the next person was who wanted to say something. Forgive me.
This is Erica. I agree with all what the ladies are saying about the chef when you go to a restaurant. I like to feel special. I don't know if it's the Libra in me or what, but I like to feel special. And I think by you saying that you're vegan, and especially if they give it to their chef, the chef usually will bring the food out personally. And it's like next time you go in, at least the places I frequent, they know me. So when I go to a restaurant, I normally don't even say anything. Like one of my favorite places is Longhorn Steakhouse. And when I walk in the restaurant, I don't even say anything. My people that I'm with, they give their order. But before my food is already, they say, we already put that in. Because they already know what I have. So what I was just going to say, the chefs, I think they take pride in being able to do something that's not on their menu, something very special and catered to you. And I like to feel special because I'm special. Okay.
Anyone else have their stories before we move to the special story? We're still on the horror stories now. Does anyone have any horror stories in regards to just bad experiences in regards to trying to find a meal and being vegan? All right. We can go ahead and move on. Let's see. What else do we have? We have dealing with non-vegan friends and family. Surprises about the vegan lifestyle. Okay. Did anyone have any surprises in regards to their change in diet? Like I always hear, this is the one that I always hear, and this is the one that I felt, is that I after I gave up meat, I had so much energy. After I gave up meat, my skin cleared up. I mean, the sister was like, after I gave up dairy, my menstruation periods didn't hurt. You know what I mean? So it's like my cycle didn't hurt. So does anyone have any surprises about their vegan, accepting the vegan lifestyle they like to share? Say your name first. Nobody. Come on, Kwanda, help me out. I know you got something.
I'm sorry, I have one. This is Mahogany.
Okay.
The biggest surprise for me would have been just, I guess initially I thought it would have been a really, really restricted, but one of the things that I've noticed with being a vegan is that it's actually so much fun. Like it's like every time I go to the farmer's market, I'm trying something new. I never would have tried any of those things before. And I was watching this video, and they were talking about the Beyond Meat burger, And
Yeah.
you know, just on the video, she was like, well, you know, really, this is really for people who kind of need a meat replacement. She was like, but as a vegan, you can have a black bean burger, you can have a quinoa burger, you can have a lentil burger, you can have, you know, just all these different options that you may not have tried before. Whereas a, you know, meat eater would have, you know, beef, turkey, or chicken maybe burger, but most people, I guess, they're going to have a beef burger. So I know for me, like, it really and truly is exciting, like trying new recipes and finding new ways to make the same thing over and over again, you know. So I would say that was the biggest surprise for me, is just all of the different options. Please. I'm so sorry, you all. I hope you were able to help.
Anyone else?
Yeah, this is Daphne. I would say one of the things that was a big surprise for me is that when I became vegan, I felt a lot calmer, a lot less anxious, a lot less hurried. I just experienced more inner peace. It made me able to meditate for longer periods of time, sit quietly. So that was something that I wasn't really expecting. I don't know if anybody else had that experience, but I just became calmer.
Anyone else?
Somebody want to say this, I'm going to say it. When you become vegan, you become friends with your colon.
Miss Erica, you don't have nothing to say?
Hi, this is Cassandra from New York. So I think one of the biggest things for me was learning that I could use food to also create things to help nourish the outside of my body. For example, what I do with my hair sometimes is I make a banana and avocado deep conditioner, which is amazing. You know, just being able to use food and not have to buy all these chemicals and things and deal with all these advertisements and all these products that could just be so overwhelming when you go into the store about, you know, this will help this and that will help that. And it's just like, okay, just go right to the earth and use these things to help nourish my body. And it's just amazing. It's amazing. It's literally the best decision that I made in my life.
This is Brian.
Go ahead, Brother Brian.
This is Brian. I think a challenge for me is sometimes I think as males, people consider males that eat vegan foods is soft. And, you know, that's been a challenge, I think, sometimes when you expose that you don't eat meat. Oh, they think, well, you're soft, you know, or people may look at you in a different light. And so as a male, I think it becomes a challenge to, I don't know what sister on the line that stated that she don't openly just tell people what she eats. I take that approach as well in many cases, whereby I just don't disclose I go to a restaurant and I may be eating with a group of people and I'll order the dish and just not order meat with it, and people may not know. So I may not totally disclose everything because you know, I get a lot of pushback, you know. So sometimes I guess that's why I'm in a place in my life where I'm trying to expand to more vegan friends, because you know, having a lot of meat eating friends, you know, I it's just less resistance sometimes. Just say not really disclosing, that you eat in a certain way, or that you study a certain way, or in terms of things.
Hi, this is Erica. Brian, can I give this? I think maybe to change your friends or to raise your vibration or friends with a higher vibration, because that is so hard to find someone that's vegan. Like I kind of do see it's hard to find someone that is on the same level as you that's vegan. So I just think that's awesome and super cool to have a vegan guy actually. So anyway, but like I said, I like to be special. So I think when your friends know that you're vegan and if they're your real friends, they're constantly like, when they're looking at the menu, they say, hey, you should try this. Well, why don't you try this? And they, like, before the waiters say something to you, everybody at the table saying, well, she's vegan, make sure you do da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's like this camaraderie kind of thing. And then, like, I like to see people eat stuff that I know I wouldn't put in my body. Like someone say, what you eat don't make me poop kind of thing. So, like, I like when someone eat bacon and ribs. Like, yes, eat that. Mm-hmm. Like, I get excited for them. Like, good job, because I would never put that crap in my body. But yeah, So,
hold up, Eric. Hold up, Eric. This is useless.
Yeah.
You get excited when people put crap in their body.
Oh yes. Like I just came off of cheese, right? And I had a girlfriend, like, cause I was like, I get in bed. I just told you all my secret. It's not a secret because it's on my Facebook page. But I've been in bed with the devil, the cheese, like on and off kind of thing throughout my journey. And I'm back off out of bed with this devil, right? And cheese is the worst thing for you to put in your system, right? But I have a girlfriend and like they had cheesecake. And when they was like walking past sampling, and I was like, eat that. Yes, that's so good. It was right when I was transitioning back off of it. But I will absolutely, because they're going to eat it anyway. And they're going to destroy themselves anyway, knowing what it does to them and what I tell them about and what they research about. So yes, like let them enjoy it. So in their death, so if they pass before I pass, then I can know that they really thoroughly enjoyed their life. So you either pay up front or you pay at the back. With, kind of thing. So they want to pay up front. So hey, anyway. How you want to do? I like it. I like to see him. Love it.
Okay. Uh-oh. I mean, for me, I don't really get too much pushback. I mean, the majority of my circle, I do have friends who do eat meat. But a lot of my friends grew up not eating meat. They were the ones, who like introduced me to tofu and stuff like that. But for me, I would say a challenge for me is I like the mock meats. Like someone had mentioned Beyond Meat. Like I got some beef crumble in my freezer right now. So I like that type of stuff. And for a while, I was like eating like the soy chicken, the drumlets. They look like drumlets with the little bamboo shoot through them. I'm like eating this stuff, but I'm like, I didn't realize I'm like putting all this soy, in my body, and after a while, I just started feeling funny, you know what I mean? And then I read up on, soy and stuff like that. So, I kind of had to like reduce my intake of certain products, because they just, not for me. I mean, although it's, it tastes good, it's just not for me. Another thing I wanted to mention right quick is anyone familiar with eating for your blood type? I want to say someone had mentioned it earlier, said that they were a particular blood type and their child was a different blood type. Are we familiar with eating for our blood type, or do we know our blood types, or what our blood types dictate? Okay. So what's your blood type?
I am a giver. So my blood type is, this is Erica. I'm a type O. So I'm a O positive. So, yes. And my baby, he's an AB negative, like his daddy.
Well, I'm A positive. And I read up on A positive, and it said that I needed to be a vegetarian. It said that I shouldn't eat a lot of meat. Just straight up said it. So I was like, damn. And it's growing up, I never really did eat a lot of meat. But, it's like every now and then I have my chicken or turkey or pizza or something like that. So yeah, I just found that very interesting that I didn't know anything about eating for your blood type until like last year. So I just found that interesting that, that they're actually, that you can actually eat for your blood type. There was something else I was about to say, but it escaped me. I'm sorry. It's the chat.
This is Leah. I don't know much about eating for your blood type, but I did read about eating like the diet for like Black people, which is like people of different ethnic regions. So like most Black people are basically could trace their ethnicity back to Africa. So if we look at the diet of Africans, it's mostly like gourd and beans and not a lot of sugar, sugary foods, and the biggest thing is like you want to create like copper or eat food that produce like copper in your body, which is going to be not carbon, carbon. So that's like your probably like the people who follow doctor. It's probably very similar. I think there's a lot of overlap with a lot of modalities, whether it be blood type, whether it be alkaline. The biggest thing I would say is just increase your green vegetables. Tell people who are even non-vegan, I'm like, don't really think about the things you take out, but what can you add into your diet? So we can all use more fruits and vegetables. So I just try to keep it simple, really.
Anyone else have anything to say in regards to that? Surprises about the vegan lifestyle.
How about dating while vegan?
Oh, you're throwing that out there? Dating while vegan?
I am throwing it out there. Dating while vegan.
All right, Kwanda. Well, I'm gonna start on that one. This is Yusuf in Yonkers. I really haven't had the chance to date while vegan. I mean, normally what happens is if I'm out and I'm buying a meal or whatnot, I guess because I'm buying, nobody's questioning what I'm eating. So I've never had any situation where somebody was like, oh, you're not eating this? They might order a particular meal and then I'm looking for vegetable substitutions or a different option. I've never had like any situation where somebody tried to call me out on what I'm eating, on a date. Well, I mean, I really don't do dates, Only dates I do are Medjool dates and Deglet Noor dates. I love those. But, when I'm out or, with friends or something like that and I'm paying, I've never really had anybody question, what's on my plate. So I'd like to hear from the ladies, especially you, Kwanda, since you put it out there. Don't get quiet on us. You put it out there now.
Okay. No, I'm here. I just had to make it across the room because, my sister friend brought me some wonderful vegan Liberian food, so I was like, stuff in my face. So, dating while vegan, let me think about this. It's never been an issue for me. And like I said, I've been sort of on this path since I was a teenager, and it's like literally never been an issue. I don't know. Like a lot of people seem to go through a lot of extra stuff about, you know, their relationships and being vegan. Even when I was married, my husband, he understood that, you know, I didn't eat meat. I wasn't going to change my diet for him. So he basically altered his diet to fit in with the program. And when he wanted meat, because he didn't just stop eating meat, he did it outside of the house. And he had his like monthly meat. And when we were home, we ate, you know, whatever was there. I mean, or when we went out, he wouldn't even order meat if we went out to eat together. Like I said, when that was what he felt like he wanted, he went out on his own and did it. So, I mean, it's literally never been an issue for me, but I hear in the group from particularly women who it seems to be a huge issue of being vegan and dating somebody. I've just never been in a dating situation where a man did not respect that and did not honor that and did not like go the extra mile, I guess you can say, to not consume meat when they were with me or around me.
This is Leah. I've noticed that when I turned vegan, I actually attracted more. Cause when I went vegan, I also was on a health journey as well. So I think I just attracted vegan men, or I've dated vegan men, vegetarian men, also just men who are health conscious. Period. So they all kind of just understood. I think the other thing you might want to, women are in different regions, different areas of the country. So, like, I'm in Charlotte, so it's a more, like, metropolitan, there's a big black population. People are coming in from, all areas. I know there's a big black vegan population in Atlanta. So it might, you might have a more understanding, or you're more likely to run into people who are more understanding. But if you're in areas like middle states or, like the deep south states or like, country areas, you might not get as many people that might not be as understanding. That's a theory, maybe.
Yeah, this is Yusuf. I have to agree with you. I mean, when I'm in the South, and I have friends in CLT, Queen City, but it's a different mentality. Like New York, the area that I frequent, there's a vegan restaurant like right down. It's like literally under where I'm at, seasoned vegan. So it's very easy to find places for food. But when I'm in the South, it's like, home fries again, starchitarian. It's like I become a starchitarian. So, there's only so much you can get at Food Lion. So, yeah, I understand.
Okay,
anyone else?
About that, Happy Cow. Happy Cow goes all over the world, and it tells you where to eat vegan all over the world. And there are also U-Picket farms in every state. So no matter where you live, you go on U-Picket, and they tell you what's in season in your state. And the farms, U-Pick farms that are close to where you live, usually they're within 25, 50 miles of where you live, and you can pick your own organic produce. I do it all the time. And there's also a national farmers market page. So, I mean, things are like super easy now. You just have to click on the internet and ask Google what you're what it is you want. And there's so many websites out there to tell you the information till there's like literally no excuse.
Well, with that being said, why don't you post that information in the group so there's less of an excuse for us? Because I might remember Happy Cow, but I'm not going to remember the rest of the stuff that you said. So if you could, just share that stuff in the group. I mean, I'm glad that, you have a lot of knowledge, and I am taking notes. But stuff like that's conversation in itself that should be for topics of discussion in the group. Because I know that there are people who don't know that information. And even if they do have access to Google, if you don't know how to ask a question, you won't know how to get an answer. So you should post that stuff up. I don't know if you have already, but if you have, just push it up because I'll definitely take note of it.
I just posted the link. This is Yolanda.
Thank you, Connie.
Oh, I did too. This is Erica.
All right, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the thing is, I think that from these conversations, that there's a lot of information that's being passed about. And it's very easy. I mean, I can only speak for myself in regards to this. It's very easy for it to go, go in one ear, rattle around for a second, but eventually come out. But once it's online, it's just easier for me to find, and it's easier for me to adhere to it. So thank you, ladies, for sharing that information.
This is Erica. So back to the question about dating, like I'm vegan I'm vegetarian. I identify vegan, and I date people who are meat eaters. And I don't mind if they eat meat. However, I absolutely oppose the smell of fish kind of thing. So I think if we were to get into the wigwam, the intimate moment, that person, even if they eat meat, that they will respect me enough that you definitely would brush your teeth, or I don't kiss you if you just ate meat, right? Because I don't identify with that, right? So I think in those moments that your other partner would at least respect you enough that their immediate body fluids do not touch you in a sense because you don't identify it that way. And especially, so that's what I would say for the people that I've dated that are not vegetarian. However, it's just more seamless and easier if both of you all eat the same diet and vegetarian kind of thing. So that's what I would say for me. And this was Erica.
Yeah.
And this is Mahogany. I'm sorry, I don't mean to skip topics, but just along the lines of resources, I know you can just kind of put up in the search bar, like if you wanted information on recipes, you could just, in the search bar inside of the group put recipes and it'll pull up recipes as long as the person has included that word in the post. But I'm wondering, I haven't looked yet, but is there the option inside of the group? I know we used to have like a resource page, but is there a folders option? Oh, I don't see it. Huh.
There are.
Oh, yeah, files. Okay.
There's a lot in the files just because I haven't had a chance. I haven't really had the time to keep up with that like I did when I started it, but and plus I kind of didn't know how because, it's like I'm not that technologically inclined. But I was starting to try to put recipes and stuff in the files, and I think if I'm not mistaken, somebody could help me out. I think anybody can add a recipe to the files.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure.
It depends on
Yeah, you can create a document or upload a file.
Yeah, I don't know.
File.
Yeah, you should be able to look and see if anybody can add it, because I know, like, for the group that I'm in, I added it, and I made edit. So it just depends on how you set it up in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
This is Leah, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, this is Yusef. I'm in files now, and I see it. So, Kwanda, if you have anything that you want to upload, you can just inbox it to me, and I'll make sure that it's up in the files for other people.
Okay. I have a question. Is this conversation being recorded?
It can be.
Okay. Because I think it would be a good idea if it was being recorded to post it in the group.
Okay.
It's like what happens in Vegas, in Vegas. What if you start saying things that you don't want to, you want to die with this call? I'm sorry, this is Erica. So what if I start talking about my yoni or something like that, or someone's lingam, and I don't want the whole world to last forever, my conversation? Anyway, this is Erica. I would say I would oppose that, but if it's a democracy, I think it should go for a vote.
Oh,
anyway.
Lord. Erica.
Well,
Erica.
I don't think this particular call has been generic enough to avail to other people for the purposes of sparking and generating enough interest for people to want to participate in future calls.
I have one better for you. I have one.
Erica, if you want to talk about your yoni, you go right ahead.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I got one thing better for you, Erica. Check this out. The call is being recorded, right? But at 11 o'clock, which is in 18 minutes, we'll move into what we'll say is a after-hours mode. The call will be cut off from the recording, so all of the nutritional information will be saved. And if you want to get into all of your nitty-gritties, then whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. How about that? That's when we'll move to grown folk hour. How about that? Is that fair?
That sounds fair.
All about nutrition. It's all one thing. It's all nutrition.
Yeah, but come on, bro. That sounds nice, but, you know. But I understand exactly what you're saying, Kwanda, and I'm of the same mindset of you in regards to that. So that's the reason why I've asked certain questions the way that I've asked them, because, you know, normally when it gets closer to midnight, you know, conversations change. So, you know, I'm not trying to limit anyone's adulthood, but yeah, I did want to be able to get the crux of the information, you know, in the beginning part. We can reveal ourselves a little more towards the end part. Miss Erica, yeah.
And just have that dating conversation about dating somebody else who's not vegan, and how certain things just ain't quite the same.
Yeah, we can have that conversation after 11 o'clock. I hear your inference, but I think those type of conversations, yeah, let's have that in another 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, if y'all don't mind, is that okay with you guys? Miss Erica, you all right with that?
I'm amazing. Yes.
Okay. All right. So there was a question that I posted in the group, and it stemmed from, there was a post about unpopular opinions, and I'm a verbatim guy, so let me look up exactly what I said. But it dealt with the attitudes of people who adopt a vegan lifestyle. Let me see if I can find. And man, I said a lot. Okay, here it is. Do vegans come off condescending and arrogant due to their adoration of their dietary lifestyle? And I mean, when I asked that in that post, you know, some people agreed, some people disagreed. But I want to say that I have witnessed, you know, it's almost like this superiority complex that some people have in regards to, you you know, their lifestyle. I understand that, you know, you're making positive changes, but when someone was speaking of vibrations earlier, when your vibrations don't match that, you know, it's like I've come across that. You know, it's kind of like it's like I'm in a particular type of club and you're not in it, you know, or I wouldn't do that, you know, I would never do that, or, you know, it's like these attitudes that are taken, you know, because people don't not agree, but they don't align, you know, your dietary commitment doesn't align with somebody, so, you know, some people come off condescending. I mean, it's vice versa as well, because I know for a lot of people who have adopted plant-based lifestyles, you know, meat eaters are always saying something, you know. Ooh, this bacon don't taste good. Although I like Erica's exception to these rules, but has anyone ever experienced that? Like someone who was a vegan or someone who adopted a plant-based lifestyle, but it was like that's all that they had going for them. It's like outside of that, you wouldn't have anything to do with this person. Because of their choice in lifestyle. I mean, I'm sorry. Someone spoke?
This is Erica. My circle is fabulous. I only hang around amazing people. So my friends have a lot of things going for themselves. Even the people that like their energy, like I'm in DC, so they have like Everlasting Life and New Vegan Cafe and the different circles where you can meet other people who are like-minded. What I find, I gravitate to those people who have other things going on, and it's just like your spirits like align, men and women, right? So the women or the people who their spirit is like yuck mouth spirit, it's like we have nothing to talk about, so let's keep it pushing kind of thing. But I'm quick to exchange my numbers to men or women who like their vibe is just like, yes, tell me more, and you're speaking what I'm speaking kind of thing. So I think you can discern those spirits, and you don't just have to befriend someone just because they're vegan, because I need you to have a little bit more going on than that. Anyway, that's me.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
This is Leah. I haven't experienced like I just call them uppity vegans, but I guess that's why I said earlier why I don't make a big deal out of it, because like one, like you said, that's not my whole identity. And when I became vegan and decided to be vegan and actually stay, because I was actually eating plant-based for a long time before I actually said the actual words I am vegan, because I wanted to be very cognizant of that. And like I said, some people even will be triggered when I say that I'm vegan, just because of experiences that they've had with other vegans. And so, like they'll meet me and they'll be like, oh, you're pretty cool or whatever. So, like you said, it's not all, that shouldn't be everything. That shouldn't be your whole identity. Like, a lot of us weren't born vegan. I know some of us are raising vegan children.
Wait, what?
But a lot of us, weren't born or raised vegan. So, we had lives before we became vegan, and we had other things we identified with before then. So, yeah, I don't really subscribe to that, and I don't really surround myself around people like that.
Okay. Anyone else have a story in regards to that? You got anything else for us, Kwanda?
No, because when you all get to the adult Yanni and all that, I'm out.
So you got 10 more minutes, Miss Ma'am. You got 10 more minutes.
Y'all got me hollering up in here.
But wait, I have a question. Is that Yolanda English on the phone?
Yes, it
From
is.
Miami.
Yes, it is.
Hey, Yolanda. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I am wonderful. Now, you all know that she has also a vegan group on Facebook, right?
The Juicy Vegan, that's me.
Juicy Vegan?
Juicy Vegan, yes.
Yes, I am the Juicy Vegan, yes.
Oh, you're the Juicy Vegan. Okay.
I'm the Juicy Vegan, and that's the name of my group. I started it about 4 years ago after doing a talk about life as a vegan for about 10 people. They want to get some more tips, and now I have 1,400. It's become my passion to help people learn more about plant-based recipes, remedies, and restaurants. So constantly posting, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 posts a day, at least, right, Quanta?
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it. It's my passion.
Yeah. I mean, I commend you too in regards to being moderators and administrators for a group. I mean, I have a group that I made maybe 7 years ago, and it's like 20,000 people. So it's like after a while, it's like there's only so much.
20,000?
Yeah, 20,000.
What kind of group?
I probably accept maybe half. Like I have like maybe like 80 people in the queue right now. I probably only accept like 30. I'm to the point now to where it's like you have to be on Facebook over a year. You can't be in more than 100 groups. You have to know someone who's in the group. You know, it's like because I get a lot of weird people. I'm not gonna even go into the group because it has nothing to do with veganism. But yeah. With that being said, I know that there is a level of dedication, that you ladies have to maintain, and I thank you for it because I know it's not easy. Because you're dealing with people from all different walks and backgrounds. Everyone doesn't have the same mentality. Some people are just naturally combative. Some people just need to be blocked. So
that's why I made my group closed, because I'm not interested in that foolishness. So my group is closed. And
yeah, but even with a closed group, you can still, after a while, there are just certain people who are just cut-ups, or certain people who just, they just naturally buck the system. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing all the time. But I mean, I'm just not a verbally combative person. I will, and I'm guilty of this. I'll make a post, and if I'm going back and forth with somebody, I'll erase the post because I don't even want to see what I've said to feed into it. So I mean,
I think at this point, most people have pretty much figured out that my intention is for single black vegans to be to be a group of integrity and a group of respect and a group with that makes social boundaries, because whereas at this point the youngest person in our group is 24. The oldest person in our group is 75. That is a huge age range. And I don't want people who are 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s to be offended, to be insulted, to be disrespected, to be any of that. Because that's not who I intend for single black vegans to be. I think we all have a voice. I think everybody's voice is valid. And I think we can all learn from each other. But for me, respect is paramount.
Mm-hmm.
Amen. Thank you.
And I think for those people in the group who are looking for partners, men who are looking to partner with vegan sisters and sisters who are looking to partner with vegan brothers, I can tell you this for an absolute fact. The men in the group, whether they say anything or not, Rashid Bey, are paying attention. They're paying attention to you. They're paying attention to your participation. They're paying attention to what you say and how you say it. Ladies, or shall I say brothers, the sisters are doing the same thing. Because if they're serious about meeting somebody who's in that lifestyle, they are looking to meet somebody who they feel is compatible with them. And I know I shouldn't have called Rashid, but he is in the group, and you rarely hear his voice in the group, but he is paying attention. And so is James. And they're excellent brothers. They're excellent brothers, I will say this, but they are paying attention whether you see them or not. So that's why I insist on people bringing their best self to the group, because people are paying attention. If you're serious about a relationship, at the very least, start with your best self.
I totally agree, Kwanda, with everything you just said. I'm sorry, this is Mahogany. But, you know, just, I guess, to speak on the whole... Okay, baby. So, but just with the energy piece, I think I'm probably a little bit more extreme than most. But I'm kind of allergic to negative energy. I don't understand it. I think as a people, we have so many things that are coming at us. Just look at the climate of this country right now. We need to learn how to be nicer to each other. I think we can. Okay, be quiet. Let me talk, okay? But we can have discussions and still be respectful with each other. Nobody's perfect. We all have flaws, but I think. Just coming with positive energy. And then the other piece, Kwanda, is depending on what it is that you're looking for, this is such a beautiful platform. And, I thank you, Kwanda, all the more reason why I started getting involved, because I'm like, where am I going to go where I can find a group of Black vegans in one place? Like in my day-to-day time out, whether it's at work or at the grocery store or wherever it is that I'm at, where am I going to run into day-to-day basis at once? It's just not going to happen. So I'm big on, because I'm a project manager, so I'm a visionary. How do you get to the end point type of person? Put together the strategy and execute, right? And so when I look at that, how do you go about getting to your endpoint? Well, here it is. You have an opportunity. All of us have an opportunity to interface with people. And to Kwanda's point, what face are you putting forward? Are you involved? First of all, do people even know you exist? And so it's such a beautiful platform. But then how are you leveraging this platform to get to your endpoint, whatever that is, whether it's, trying to, form a romantic relationship, friendship, networking, whatever it is. And so I think this call right here is probably a great way for us to kind of expand the scope of our interaction, so that now we're dealing more with quote unquote real people and not just faces, pictures, and words. And now we've kind of got voices to associate with that. So hopefully people will get more involved and be more integral parts of building the culture of the group. But anyway, thank you all for listening.
Okay. This is Yusuf. With that being said, hold on, Kwanda. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. It's 11 o'clock, so I was about to cut.
I know, and that's why I wanted to close with this, because y'all get ready to go to the next level. So, and I'm getting ready to get off the line while y'all go to the next level. But I wanted to say this. The group is 2.5 years old, and in 2.5 years, we've had 3 marriages, 2 engagements, and multiple relationships to start from this group in 2.5 years. Okay?
Hi.
Do you hear that?
This is Eric. Can you put me on that track, please? I can send you all of my information, and I can send you my resume. Can you put me on that track?
please. Thank you.
Okay, I just wanted to put that out there. And there's some brothers who are on this line who are on the interested in marriage track. That's all I'm saying. Okay? All right.
I'm sending you my
Go ahead, guys. Go ahead, Yusuf.
Thank you, Quanda. Thank you for calling in. All right. With that said,